Hi there, Vibe Gardeners. Welcome to another edition of Vibe Gardening Inform Edition. We're going to have our second cooking edition, and we're going to go over the big question of what I'm going to do with these eggplants, because as you saw from last season, there was quite a bit of it. I'm going to show you guys how to make baba ganoush with it. With that said, let's go. So if you guys remember last season, I had about 96 of these eggplants, and these are about a pound a piece right here, or 13 ounce for 13 and a half, almost 14 ounce for this. It's about 15, almost 16 ounces. So they're pretty sizable. This one's a little bit early, so I had to pick it today to kind of demonstrate the crack on this from earlier, from inconsistent watering. But just because there's a crack on it, I was able to harvest this early enough so that it's going to not affect the output of the actual food. So today I'm going to show you how I'm going to turn this into a delicious dip that is at least inspired by Middle-Eastern dish for baba ganoush, which is an eggplant paste with sesame paste that is great for dipping and other uses. And I know it's probably not authentic. It's kind of like American style inspired, and I'm not going to use the exact amount in my cooking, but I can give you what are some of the recommended amounts on the internet for you. So I cook by taste. And this is going to be a delicious start of another harvest season here in my garden. All right, guys, let's go. All right, guys, so let's talk a little bit about the ingredients here that we have that we'll be using. So most importantly, we're going to be having eggplants, as we mentioned, and I'm going to use two of them. And I don't exactly know how much of everything else I'm going to be using, but I'll definitely give some proportional amounts from recommended recipes online. They'll give you some good idea. And then I'm going to have lemon for lemon juice, or we've got fresh lemon juice in bottles. It's a great time for it as well. And then we got some minced garlic from the local grocery store. And I got myself some tahini, which is really just sesame paste that's coming from my local Mediterranean market. And then we got the salt and pepper, and this will be to taste. And I just harvested some parsley here to show you guys I'll be using it, but I'm pretty sure I'll be using more of that. So those are the ingredients that we'll be using today. And let's get started cooking. All right, so the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking these eggplants. And first we're going to be taking off the green cap here. Just kind of cut off the top and then peel back the green spiky stuff. And what we're going to do here is, because this one's already cracked, I'm going to cut it in half like so. So one of the shorts I had last year, which I kind of show how I did this last year, was I actually sliced it into slices. And I do find that to be a lot more tedious and unnecessarily tedious. So we're literally going to be cutting it in half, and then we'll be grilling it as it is right there. And that's what we're going to be doing. So there we have it. We have our eggplant slices, or halves here. All right, guys, so once you fire up your grill and you got the temperature up a little bit, what you can do is you can just simply put the eggplant face down. You get them cooking first, because don't overthink it. Like, basically, what you want to do is you want to char the outside of the eggplant, and you don't have to get all fancy on this at all. And so there you have it. I only had to do one of my 3 burners, and then just put all the eggplants face down on it with the round side up. And that's all you need to do to get started. And so you close it and come back, and you just want to make sure there's a nice, coating of char on it. And basically have it on high to give the best chance of getting that char. All right, so the general tip-off that you might be ready to turn over is that you see the browning around the edge. So you basically, at this point, you want to flip it over. As you can see, it's got that nice little bit of grill mark on it. And each one of them should be pretty much ready. As you can see that beautiful mark from the grill. And now that we have this pretty much ready to go here, We will close the lid and let it go a little deeper. Alright, so now that it's been going on its back for quite a bit, I actually turned the heat down to about half. We notice on the back that it's basically pretty flat, as you can see here. It's got colors going on, and it kind of squishes quite well. It's a little bit of a bubbling up in the middle here, and you can see that all of them are essentially squishy and flattening. This tells you that it's pretty much ready, and you kind of push in the middle. You see how it kind of depresses, and kind of feel the whole thing. Essentially, get that softness going. So this is now ready, and the main thing right here is we can probably separate the skin right now and actually turn off the heat. But the best thing you can do is you can actually let it cool down. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put them in this mixing bowl. I'm going to put it in the fridge for a while and let it cool down and let the juice come out so you can properly dry this thing out. Because dryness is actually one of the best things you can do for bawang ganoush when making it. Okay, now that the eggplant has been refrigerated a little bit, it's cool now to the touch. It becomes trivial to remove the skin. So what we can do is we can actually remove majority of these, and we can actually start just scooping out the eggplant meat from here. And this is gonna basically make it really easy for us. And like that, the first one is removed. Alright, so now that we have de-skinned all the eggplant, we're going to basically give it a little light mashing. And you'll notice that a lot of water is coming out. It's got that skin right there. And we basically want to drain out what we can. And yeah, might need some more settling before the juice comes out. But yeah, we definitely want to give it a bit of a mashing. And because these are not as ripe as I was using it last year, probably gonna have to use a knife to really cut it down a little bit. So with something like this, because of lack of ripeness, it is quite a bit left, and we can probably use a hand blender or a blender later. But right now, that's an optional step that we can take after we're done blending this. All right, so next step we're going to do is we're going to take the tahini, and then we're going to basically stir this to get let me move this out of the way so you can see, to get some of that settlement to basically mixed, because there's a lot of sesame oil on top. And this is really to taste whatever amount of tahini you think you need to make it taste good. And for me, I kind of will just add whatever I feel is necessary. And I'm basically going to just put some in here like that. And not too much, because this is quite a bit. I'm going to mix it in well. And the one ingredient I forgot to mention earlier was olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And I'm going to basically pour some in here. This step. It's actually quite a bit. And this is actually the thing that really gives it the flavor. You can see this is quite meaty. Now, of course, we're going to take our lemon and we're going to put some of that juice in here. All right, so now that's kind of, this is the lemon juice I got out of one lemon. I think that's probably more than enough. Just mix that in. Now we eventually have to put this, I think I'm going to have to put this into a blender to blend it this time, because of the texture it is. But before I do that, I'm going to put in some salt, a little bit of pepper to taste. Alright, I'm gonna do some blending and I'll bring it right back. Alright, so we're back from the blender, and I made a mistake of using my Ninja as opposed to just a food processor or the hand blender, which would have been more, traditional texture, but now it looks like hummus, which I guess still works. You can use it for dip later anyway. And the one step I forgot to mention was adding the garlic, which I added. And so actually think right now it tastes pretty good. So the final step now is to chop up the parsley. And actually, I'm going to harvest a little more because this was only for demonstration earlier. All right, now we have enough parsley, and we will just chop it up. And remember, you can basically start divide and conquer like this. It'll go much quicker with the chopping. All right, now that we have the parsley chopped, we can basically simply take the rest of it in here and then dump it right in, and then stir that thing in there, and that's gonna be right there. This is the finished product of the Baba Ganoush. And there you have it. And guys, there you have it, the finished product. Garnished with a little peppercut salt and a parsley sprig and a little bit more of olive oil. This is how Baba Ganoush is served, at least in American Mediterranean restaurants. And to just dip it with your favorite pita, bread, or for me, I use celery quite a bit to reduce the carb count. And this is how I make baba ganoush. Let us know how you make it down below in the comments. Subscribe for more content like this. And until next time, guys, keep gardening, keep cooking, and keep vibing. Let's go.